All right, everybody, welcome in. We're diving deep today. Ready for this?
Let's do it.
We're taking a plunge into the world of an animal, and it's honestly a bit of a mystery even to, like, experts.
Oh, yeah.
The South Asian River Dolphin.
Ooh, fascinating.
Murky home, murky life. We're talking about a dolphin that has figured out how to not just survive, but thrive in these intense river systems.
Right. Like, not your average dolphin habitat.
Not at all. The Ganges, the Brahmaputra, the Meghna, these rivers are complex.
They're like the lifeblood of a whole region.
Exactly. And supporting a ton of life we barely even know about. Now, you know I did my research right.
Always.
And I kept seeing this name pop up, Ganges River Dolphin. Catchy, but is that really what we're calling it?
It's definitely a common name, like people use it all the time. But officially, it's the South Asian River Dolphin.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
It's not just about the Ganges. Their range is way bigger. We're talking multiple river systems all connected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So protecting one little spot won't do it. It's about the whole region, the whole picture.
Gotcha. So what makes this dolphin stand out? I mean, it lives in rivers, which is already weird for a dolphin, but it doesn't even look like those classic dolphins, right?
No, not really. The body is long, sleek, like perfect for navigating all those tight spaces and currents. But the dorsal fin, it's not what you'd expect.
Well, it's got like a mini fin or something?
More like a ridge, runs along the back, low, kind of smooth. Think like a small bump almost.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this. It's so different from, the guys jumping out of the waves in the ocean. Why would a dolphin evolve a ridge instead of a fin?
Imagine trying to swim through a cluttered, shallow river with a huge fin. Wouldn't work.
Yeah, sure.
This ridge. It's all about maneuverability. Slipping past stuff through narrow spots. It just makes sense for where they live.
Totally. Now, another thing that struck me, the source mentioned their eyes are teeny tiny.
Oh, yeah.
So, murky water, can't see well.
Yeah.
How do they find their way around?
Yeah.
And their food.
All right, here's where it gets super cool. Echolocation. They're masters of it.
Ah, like sonar.
Exactly. They send out these high-frequency clicks, right? And then they listen. The sounds bounce back off everything in the water, and they basically build a map in their heads.
Whoa.
It's how they see, navigate, hunt, the whole deal. They're seeing with sound, basically.
That is mind-blowing. But wait, hold it. The source also talked about their beak. Long, narrow, tons of teeth. Doesn't seem very dolphin to me.
Right. You think playful, friendly.
Yeah.
This beak's for serious business.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the beak for?
Food. Remember, those murky waters. This dolphin's got to work for its meals. They're side swimmers.
Hold on.
Side swimmers?
Yeah, if they tilt onto their side.
No way.
And use that beak to sift through the riverbed. Feeling for food, basically.
Wow, I never would have imagined that. That's amazing.
It's how they've adapted. Now, another thing, they're mostly loners. Unlike, say, your ocean dolphins, all playful in pods, these guys are often solo.
Why is that? You'd think dolphins would be social. It's all about the environment. Resources are spread out in a river. Hunting alone is more efficient, maybe, and those tight channels. Not exactly built for group hangs, but here's the twist.
There's always a twist with this dolphin.
This solitary creature, it's an apex predator.
Wait. What? Seriously? This quiet, lone wolf of the river is top of the food chain.
It's true, and it's important. It keeps the balance in the whole system. Like, if the top predator is gone, everything gets messed up. The whole ecosystem feels it.
Wow. So we've got this amazing creature, perfectly suited to its crazy home, keeping the rivers in check. But the source material also dropped a bombshell. They're critically endangered.
Yeah, that's the harsh reality.
What does that even mean for this dolphin? Like, how bad is it?
Critically endangered means they're on the brink. Seriously high risk of disappearing from the wild completely. And for them, it's not just one thing. It's like a whole bunch of threats hitting at once.
Okay, so hit me with it. What's putting them in danger?
Well, the biggest one, I'd say, is habitat loss. We're talking dams. They chop up the rivers, right?
Yeah, I see where this is going.
It's like putting walls in their home. Blocks their movement, messes up the flow of water. It's bad news.
And what about pollution? That's got to be a huge issue too, right?
Oh, absolutely. All the industrial waste, stuff from farms running into the rivers. It's like poisoning their home. They're literally swimming in it.
Yeah.
And we're finding some nasty stuff in their bodies. Chemicals, pollutants, you name it.
Like what kind of stuff?
PCBs, for example, polychlorinated biphenyls. They mess up hormones, make it hard to reproduce, weaken their immune system. It's a whole cascade of awful.
That's heartbreaking. It's hard to even imagine dealing with all of that.
Right.
What about overfishing? Does that directly impact them?
Big time. It wipes out their food supply. They end up having to compete with us for less and less food. And, the knock-on effect is that the entire food web gets messed up.
Mm.
It's a ripple effect.
It's scary how interconnected everything is. The source material also had these photos.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins caught in fishing nets. That's got to be a big problem too, right?
It's a nightmare scenario. They get tangled up, can't escape. They drown or get horribly injured. Just awful. These are intelligent animals. It's not just a statistic. It's a tragedy every single time.
So it feels like we're painting a pretty bleak picture here. Is there any hope for them? Is anyone even trying to help?
Hey, don't lose hope. There are people fighting for them hard. Dedicated folks, organizations. They're out there making a difference.
That's good to hear. What are they doing? What's actually working?
One big thing is protected areas, setting aside sections of the river, making them safe havens for the dolphins.
By giving them a little bit of space to just be dolphins.
Exactly, away from a lot of those threats. Now, the dams are a tougher problem, but people are working on that too.
I mean, you can't just unbuild a dam, right?
Nope. But there are things like fish ladders. They help the dolphins bypass those barriers, access more of the river, and sometimes they can manage water releases from dams to try to mimic the natural flow, make it a little more dolphin-friendly.
It sounds like it takes a ton of effort, a lot of different approaches. What about the rest of us? What can regular people do? Does it even make a difference?
It absolutely makes a difference. Just being aware of the South Asian River Dolphin, knowing they exist and what they're up against, that's huge. Support the organizations doing good work, spread the word, talk to your friends and family, and honestly, be mindful of your own impact on rivers, even if you don't live near one. It all adds up.
And research, right. We got to keep learning more about them.
That's the key. The more we understand their behavior, their needs, what's really hurting them, the better we can protect them.
Man, this has been quite a journey. We started in the murky depths, uncovered all these incredible adaptations, and faced some really tough realities about their survival. But there's hope.
Always hope. It's not over yet.
And, with people putting in the effort, things can change.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, and action makes all the difference.
So as we wrap up, here's a question to leave you with. Knowing what you now know about this unique creature, what can you do? How can we all ensure that the South Asian River Dolphin keeps swimming, keeps thriving for generations to come? Let that simmer. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.